I decided in I think it was 80, I wrote it down, 87. I could give you her name, or I have it right here. She still goes to my church. Her husband, I decided to preach a series on the minor prophets. And so I was going to do one sermon per prophet. And I did it. That's online somewhere. Everything I've ever said is online somewhere. And so I did it, and so the sermon in October of 1987 was on Malachi. And I said, now what am I going to say about Malachi? Got one sermon for the whole book, 4 chapters. And I put in the bulletin chapter 1, verses 1 to 5. Because I do believe it does set up the book to understand the whole book. So I knew I'm going to preach a message that has in it the sentence, Jacob, I loved you, so I hated, and it's going to be hard. I've been there 7 years at this church. All the changes theologically and ecclesiologically have not happened that I wanted to happen. So I got a lot of people out there not on board with where I am. And so I'm going to preach this, and I'm just pleading with the Lord, make it edifying, make it helpful. And that morning, just before the first service, this woman's husband collapses and dies at church. I hear about it as I come out of the first service, that she's gone with the ambulance to the hospital, and the word is, he's dead. And I take a deep breath and I say, God, what am I going to do now? Should we just not have service? Should I have a season of prayer? I've never faced this before as a pastor. Everybody knows this man. The word's spreading quickly. We have a second service coming. And I've got half an hour to make a decision about how to do it. And I decided, okay, I will begin the service by telling everybody what happened and praying for his wife, who is down at the hospital. And that's what we did. We started. It was an unbelievably heavy moment. Couldn't believe that he was gone. And we were all interceding for his wife for a few minutes. And then the service proceeded pretty much as usual. And we don't do chipper services at Bethlehem, so that was not a problem. We do serious services. So I didn't have to cancel all the jokes and all the skits. Because we don't do jokes and skits. And as the sermon is approaching, she walks into the balcony. There's a balcony. I see her right now. She walked into the balcony and sits on the front pew of the balcony. Her husband is dead as of half an hour ago. And everything in me said, what are you doing here? To hear Jacob I loved, Esau I hated. And so I did another mental calculation. Like, what should I do? And I said, God knows what's going on here. He planned the sermon. He took the man. He brought her back for a reason. He knows. Preach what you had with the greatest gravity you can think of. So I did. Pretty much the kind of thing we're talking about right here. Mystery, opposition, unconditional election, all those things. There it is. Just laid it out. And when I was done, I'm shaking people, and she's disappeared, and I'm wondering, almost everybody's gone, and she comes up to me. And I just, squeezed her and cried, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for your husband. I named him. And she said, I know. And I looked at her and I said, you came back for worship. And she said, I had to hear the word of God. I had to hear the word of God. And thank you for a big God and putting a rock under my feet. That's been my experience over and over again. That people, when the winds are about to tip your boat over, like the wind of your husband having just been taken away. I would guess they were in their late 40s. You need ballast in your boat. That's what I was trying to say last night, that sometimes it's just the bigness of a great and mysterious and weighty God that is a place to stand.